Hello, YouTube. You alright? Don't bother answering, this is a recording. Idiot. Anyway, Dwarf Fortress. Let's have a little look at the fortress and see how it stands. I know we did a tour at the end of last session, but it never harms to try and figure out what's going on, does it? So we'll start by looking at the ground on the surface entrance. It's looking okay. I'm not seeing a lot of undead in close proximity, but they must be on the map because it says we're under siege. So I'm going to assume that it's hostile out there. Let's not fling the gates open. Trade depot still looks very untidy. Are we in an alert? Nope, we're not in an alert. People can go up there and tidy it if they so choose. They obviously haven't. Actually, that might be a lie. Maybe DBC, the reclaim. No, none of that's forbidden. Then why are you not picking it up, dwarves? Perhaps there's no place to put it. Perhaps that's the case. Anyway, we've looked at the surface. Let's go down to the main entryway. One of the traps appears to have been triggered. Is the cage still there? Have they taken it away? No, the whole fucking thing's died. Holy shit. Okay, we've got to replace that. Let's do that immediately. Build, trap component, cage trap. There we go. And if we just pop that in there. Presumably when they caught the giant, the cage trap just broke under the weight. I mean, we'll have to take that as the RP reason it's not there anymore. But I'm fairly confident. It looks like we've got a couple of people actually in the barracks as well, which is nice. Very rarely actually catch anyone standing in there. Perhaps putting the food in there, whoever suggested that, thank you very much, has made a bit of a difference and allowed people to actually hang around a bit longer and get some training in. Looking at this as well, we appear to have at least 1 or 2 full sets of adamantine armour as yet unclaimed, so we are going to have to go into the military and figure out what's going on there. So cage traps looking good. Graveyard pretty full. Still got some memorial slabs to make. That's fine. Then we go to the bedrooms and offices. Don't know why I ever check this place. Very boring. Nothing happens here. Blech. Next floor we've got the industrial zone. Is anybody actually up here doing work? There's a couple of people knocking around. Nothing too exciting. It's not like I've got huge orders on. I'm going to have to go and unplug that microscope. It's causing problems. Bear with me. I think if I had my headphones out, I'd be hearing buzzing. There we go. Okay. Try that another time. Oh, by the way, if any of you happen to be in the Tacoma area of Washington State, United States of America, you may be interested in visiting Tacoma Games. They sell tabletop role-playing games, collectible card games, board games, polyhedral dice, miniatures, etc., etc., etc. If that sounds like your kind of thing, check them out. Tell them I sent you. You'll get no discount, but they'll know that it was worth shipping this mug 6,000 miles. It's good. Oh. Oh. Taste of sponsorship. Oh. Very professional. That's a professional beverage. Okay, so back into the action we go. We've looked at the industrial zone. It's all fine. Most people will know what's going on here. If you're new and you've got any questions, just ask them. Just ask them. It's probably the best way to get a solution to your conundrum. Here is the food floor, looking very weirdly like a sort of top-heavy spaceship with the big rocket engines on the back. That way. Sorry, that way. Camera's the other way around. And then a sort of weird scooping thing on the front here. It kind of got the outline of an Imperial destroyer from Warhammer 40k. You can imagine it being covered in skulls and fluted archways. Don't know what this bobbins on the bottom is. Of course, outside of this weird imaginary 40k scenario, this is actually a dining room. But you don't need to know that, it's not important. Anyway, where are we? Next floor up, we've got our stockpiles all segregated out into what they have in them. Maybe I should put a bit more effort and a bit more love into this, because I feel like there's some crap laying around in the fortress that could easily be tidied up. Why do we have bug bats and such in here? What's in this grown alder cage? Is that corpse? Well, who knows? We'll investigate later. The guild hall's looking good. People are training to be weaponsmiths, armoursmiths and farmers. Boring. Why do we have 2 farmers guilds, you ask me? I don't know. They asked for 2 farmers guilds. They've get 2 farmers guilds. I treat my dwarves right, sometimes. Here we've got a hospital. If you've ended up in there, it's not because I haven't treated you right. It's because you're an idiot. You understand, dwarves? Good. This is a farm. It's 4 farms, technically. Well, 3. One of them's knackered and stopped working. But they grow pigtails and plump helmets. Very exciting, I'm sure you'll agree. And then we're back up to the surface. Now, for the showstopper, the pièce de résistance. The reason we're really still doing this fortress. Ooh, Down in the deep, deep mines, we can see that we have acquired quite a quantity of adamantine. Sweet blue candy. And we're using water to douse the magma it sits in order to turn it into obsidian so we can dig it all out. Very exciting plans, I'm sure you'll agree. Although, quite a bit of dousing to be done. Quite a bit of dousing to be done. So, let's have a look at chat again. Let's have a little look over here. People giving YouTube a bit of a hard time. Write how you are in the comment section. That's a good point. You could do that, YouTube viewers. You could do that. I mean, we could just say, Johnny5, please leave a comment to let us know you're still there, because, let's face it, he's the only person watching them. Well, that's not true. He's the only person I don't directly know who is watching my YouTube videos. Other than that, I think there's probably only one or two others. What have we got going on here? I've got a question. How do I find love again? Love again? Love again. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. I'm sorry. That's a little in-joke for any friends who are watching. I don't know. Why don't my parents love me? Well, you have to ask them, Sivan. Unless they really don't love you, in which case, just get away. Just get away. You don't want to be stuck in that kind of madness. It'll only ruin your mind. Of course, don't take any of my advice seriously, because obviously this is a bit, I was going to say light-hearted, but honestly, we say some shit in here that probably leaves people going, oh, God, I'm so depressed. But what can you do? They don't show it the way you expect, but they do. I would agree, Dave, generally speaking, they probably do. But, there are definite bona fide cases of bad parents. They definitely exist. I've never experienced them. I had lovely parents. I, unfortunately, was a bastard child, so not a literal bastard, not in a Jon Snow legal bastard kind of way, just a bit of a dickhead, bit of an arsehole, bit of a prick, bit of a wanker. But what can you do? I mean, come on. Teenagers, eh? Am I right? Maybe. My kids are too young to let me know yet. Anyway, where were we? God, I'm ranting like a madman. Let's get this adamantine dug out, shall we? Let's get this adamantine dug out. I appear to be a good parent. Good. Well, the ruse is working then. Wouldn't think it to hear my kids talk, but hey. Let's channel out these little bits here, because once we've channeled out this little brown area here with all the soil, we should be able to open this again and give this all a good sploosh and turn it into obsidian to dig down into. Sadly, we're going to end up filling this up to 7s, but I feel like if that fills up to 7s there, once we channel this lot out again, that water's probably going to spread pretty thin. I think we'll get it into the evaporational range. It'll be fine. Stop panicking. For God's sake, why do you people always panic? So there we go. That's a priority number 1 channeling order. Let's wait for that to get completed. And then when it's done, we'll do another one just above until we've got all the way to the stairs. Actually, I think I'm going to leave a 1 wide ledge here. None of that needs to actually be dug out, does it? No, it's fine. And then we'll open the gates and see how it goes. In fact, I think first I'm going to open the upper gate and fill this room again. That's probably for the best. Let's do that. Add pull now. No. Add. You can actually do the job. Click. There we go. Add pull now. There we go. Pull that lever. Open up the top gates, and then before we pull the lower gates open, we'll close that top one off, because we don't want any of our forgotten beasts charging down here and giving us any trouble, do we? No, we do not. Okay, this is going to take a little while, I think, especially if we're waiting for the miners. There was a problem last time where we kind of ran out of people to do the job. I made a few inadvisable orders and we ended up with probably vaporized miners. I'm going to guess that's what happened to Clay Cree. We will see. That's true. I do have... I mean, anyone can be a fart wrangler. It doesn't take any particular special skills. In my case, I learned how to do it by watching a movie which may or may not have been factually accurate, so just happened to be lucky that it worked. Where are we going with this? Waiting for that to dig out. Let's go over to Dwarf Therapist and start looking at our miner situation. Do we have many miners with an E? We've got me, Akira, and His Holiness. Now, realistically, Akira is our only legendary weaponsmith at the moment. Do we really want to risk them digging out... Oh, they're doing an individual combat drill. They're in the military? What? Holy shit, Akira's in the military. Okay. Well, that kind of makes my statements about keeping him safe seem kind of foolish, but it also explains the lack of mining that's going on, doesn't it? Because if he's doing an individual combat drill right now, then he certainly isn't channeling out any of that magma. So, with that in mind, let's sort by profession and see if we've got any peasants. I don't know why I'm checking. I know we haven't got any freaking peasants. No. We've got a lot of armourers, though. That armourers guild has really done a number. Look at this. Blacksmithing. How come we've got... Is that arm? No, that's armouring. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, level 14, 15, level 16, level 20 armourers. Holy cow. Pretty much anyone in the fortress is wandering in and out of that restricted workshop by now. That's insane. Well, at least we can know... Oh, they're doing the channeling, by the way, behind Dwarf Therapist. At least we know we can just bang out supremely nice suits of armour then, and it's no time to worry about whether or not we're getting good quality adamantine armour. Weapons, not so much. But now we've got the weapons guild, I think we should be all right. I think we should be fine. Anyway, who to give the mining skill? Some of these miners probably don't do much else, to be fair. What's this other skill? So armourers, rather. That's weaponsmithing enabled. Meh. You know what? I am going to pick... I'm not seeing any exciting skills in this lot, so I'm just going to go these three. Biscuits, Kakaron, and Degel all get the mining job spammed into their list of things to do. Thank you very much. Off you go. We made 5 picks last session. If you can't find the required tools, then you might be a bit of a paga. Let's do another channeling order on Dwarf Fortress. If you bear with me, I'll take us back. No need to poop in chat, everybody. No need to poop in chat. We're doing it. There we go. Take it all the way back over there. There we go. That's another channel order. Once that's done, then we'll flip the switch. Although it doesn't look like anyone's flipped the switch above. The water isn't... Oh, they have. But the water level isn't really doing much in response. Still at 4s and 5s. How about if we go up a bit further? We'll see how far down it's coming. Is it actually even at the baffle? Oh, it's made it to the baffle, but it's still only 1s and 2s. Water seems very slow to flow in this. We have got 56 frames a second, so it's not like it's, you know, going super slow-mo. Alright, we'll just give it a little while to fill up, and then once it's done, bosh, we can close the outer gates and flood the magma. Hopefully without flooding our fortress with forgotten beasts and such. Let's do a few more memorial slabs, but first it makes sense to place the ones we have. So build, Alt-S, let's place a slab here in the next sensible slot. I do like a sensible slot. Press X to check which are memorials, and none of them, which is good because that means we have placed all the memorials we created last time, which means this list will be correct vis-a-vis the number of people who have and have not been memorialised. And it looks like only Firehawk and Clay Cree still require memorials. Hopefully we won't be seeing the ghost of Clay Cree wandering the halls anytime soon. Hopefully they'll be memorialised in time and, well, on budget. What's this? Nomal Ikiblublublu. Okay. Alright, Nomal. You also get... Oh, hello. Nissa. Okay. Ithini. Minaro. Sounds like a name out of an anime. And then Ricotte. Ooh, sounds like a cheese. Okay, there we go. That's all those put in. Somebody will have to remind me later on to place those once they've been carved. It probably won't take that long, but, you know, when I'm looking at chat, someone will have to say, "Scoundrel, you did some memorial slabs. There's probably going to be ghosts wandering around. What are you doing just sitting here babbling?" As sometimes it is necessary for you to do. So what have we got going on here? This dining hall's looking fine. Very pleased with it. I can't think of anything more that I could do here that would increase efficiency, so we'll ignore it for now. we really need to go into the military screen and start assigning some of these suits of armour, don't we? I'm pretty sure we've got 5 suits of adamantine plate, but I'll just check that. Armour, here we go. Oh, we've got all this bullshit other stuff that's been knocked around. Should I just melt it all down to make things easier? I feel like that's probably the best way to go about it. Don't forbid, you tit. Melt it. There we go. Melt. Do I want to melt steel breastplate? Of course I do. Bismuth bronze breastplate, yeah. Not 4 adamantine breastplates. I don't know why it's saying 4. Do the artifact ones not count then? Because if the artifact ones don't count, that means we've got 6. Because I know we've got 2 artifact breastplates. Actually, a lot of this shit is probably on the outside of the main gate, isn't it? Thinking about it. That's probably why it's all forbidden, because it's just stuff that's wandered in with people. Oh, there we go. There's the segmented adamantine breastplate. That's the artifact stuff. Alright, we're going to have to go to the special view and type in adamantine, aren't we? Stand and deliver. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we've got 5 suits of armour with 1 set of segmented adamantine breastplate. I did ask last time, does anyone know the difference between regular breastplate and segmented adamantine breastplate? Is it just semantic? Your main export should be mine armour. That would be an interesting idea. Oh, hello, Robot in Progress. Flatulently accurate. That's true, the film was. Your main export should be armour. That's true, but it's the raw materials for armour that are a bit of a kicker. We have been duping steel, but I feel like duping steel, then selling the steel is a little bit... I don't know, it just feels... I only really wanted to dupe the steel to get the levels of my guys up and make a few steel plate shirts so we didn't have to make it all adamantium. Adamantine, sorry, very different. Adamantium is a trademark of Disney. Watch out for the Disney lawyers, don't let them get you. No, the armourers aren't from the steel duplication, Dave. What happened was we set up the Armourers Guild Hall, and I didn't quite realise how effective they would be in training people up. So those demonstrations have taken everybody without any practical application of their experience to a top tier skill level, which is weird. I feel that's probably not the ideal, but whatever. Hello Stratosphere, welcome back. What makes you feel content and warm inside? All sorts, really. Loads of stuff. A good poo. Get a good poo out. Not opiates, though. I'm not a fan of opiates. I don't know if... Is codeine a type of opiate? Because I fucking hate codeine. I know a lot of people rave about codeine painkillers, but when I had that split tooth, I tried some, and they just... I didn't like the feeling at all. I just stopped taking them and went back to, like, you know, ibuprofen and paracetamol kind of stuff. Can't stand codeine. Ooh. Anyway, where were we? Anime girls make Saivan feel content and warm inside. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Shitting around in games and voice chatting with friends. That's true, Stratosphere. I did that quite a lot today. I played a bit of Ark. Very good. Very good fun. A game that's a lot deeper than I thought it would be, to be honest. Not plot-wise or philosophically, I mean mechanically. But I enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot. Skipping past Stratosphere, looking at how to make a namey. I'll get round to it, don't worry. Segmented breastplate would allow more movement and perhaps could cover a larger area as a result. Okay. Stratosphere, you don't even have to wait for them to request a guild hall. You can just designate one, and if you smooth it and engrave it, the value should get up high enough that they'll start doing demonstrations. You have to open it to all of the population of the fortress, not just guild members, and then people will just walk in off the street and learn how to do something. So it's quite good. It like basically propagates a skill throughout your fortress. Very powerful. Codeine and Vicodin make me super nauseous. Yeah, so that's what I don't know if I felt nauseous or such, but I didn't feel right at all. I felt very woozy and didn't like it. Your IP or your life. Very true. That's what the Disney lawyers say. Usually you find them in vaults, but moody dwarves may make them. It's divine equipment. Oh, okay. So that's pretty fucking fancy. If only I could make a specific dwarf wear a specific... I've just realised if I make a unique uniform for each dwarf, I can make them wear specific breastplates, can't I? That's going to be fun to watch. It's me sitting there going, find individual breastplate. I mean, this menu is already probably boring the tits off people, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. When I had meningitis, I was given diamorphine, aka heroin. It didn't make the pain go away as such, but I was so content I didn't care. I can understand why people find it moreish. I don't know if I might have been given morphine when I broke my arm as a kid, but I don't think I was. I think I went straight into the hospital and got put under. So I don't think I've ever had morphine. Codeine is the closest I've had, and I found the experience horrible enough that I didn't take another tablet out of the packet. So they went out of date ages ago. And I had a split tooth at the time, so horrible stuff. Don't worry, Stratosphere, that point number is probably only going to go up. I have neglected my point system on this stream because I can't think of anything to do with it. Other than naming dwarves and other stuff, it's fairly limited, you know? Oh, well. A lot is left to the imagination, and that's fine. That's true. That's very true. There is a lot just you have to fill in the background, but I think that's the whole purpose of the game. It's more of a story generator than an actual sort of straightforward management game. I fumbled around the uniform screen today in my own stream. I lost half my viewers in that screen. You know, I'm not surprised, Sivan, to be fair. It is not the most enticing of things. It's a rare person who comes onto a stream and goes, ooh, text on a black background. Now this has piqued my interest. I think I'll hang around for a few hours and make sure I don't miss any of this exciting action. It's, you know, it takes a certain kind of taste to find this appealing. To be fair, we shouldn't even be looking at this right now because I've left it paused while staring at chat when I could have let the water system fill up, couldn't I? Anyway, where were we? We've got all the armour stuff, that's good. We know we've got 5 suits of armour. So now what I need to do is look at the uniform screen, go to the bridges of work, N for uniforms, leather armour, metal armour, archer, training, adamantine sword, adamantine hammer. Now only the leader of the squad should have the adamantine sword assigned, but I think there's at least 2 people who should have the adamantine warhammers assigned. Now what I'm going to do is, maybe not right now, but later on when I get into doing the uniforms, I'm going to set one uniform up that has specifically all the artifact gear in it, and then I'm going to set the rest up to be just whatever you can find of that kind, and then that should work, right? He says it should work. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Oh no, yeah, that was a mood, Sivan. The old most of the adamantine stuff, apart from the 4 suits of armour that I've made, and then some pieces of those aren't. Everything comes from a mood. We've got 2 breastplates from a mood, and we've got a warhammer from a mood, and I think that's all the adamantine moods we've had, right? Isn't it? I think we've had a few. We've had some shields made as well, which is a bit disappointing, but they're nice because you know they fit. We can have someone wearing a full suit of adamantine. I may even make some mail for one of them, but we'll see. We'll see. How much adamantine do we have in bars again? Let's have a quick look. 125 adamantine wafers. I don't know if it's going to be enough for a full set of plate for everybody. Certainly not going to be enough for a full plate and chain. But we'll see. As Robot in Progress has very clearly stated in chat. We'll see. Right, let's go back down to the mining zone and see how that is all unfolding. Is this all full? No, it's still only 5s and 6s. Jesus Christ, it's taken forever. Mind you, we do have a lot of highlighted tasks here. It looks like the miners I gave the orders to have actually picked those up and decided to fulfill them. That's very nice of them. That's a very wonderful scenario to see happening. This is more interesting, isn't it? Flashing blue numbers. Oh, much more exciting than watching a menu screen. Do we have much potential to gather more adamant from our current mining scene? I think so. I think so. Because as far as I'm aware, we should be able to get where's my mouse gone? Here we are. Should be able to get these bits here. I'm not so sure about these pieces up here, but we should be able to get these pieces here, no problem. I think we might be able to get most of this. And then once we locate the Hell Spire, where it is, we should reveal more adamantine on these floors below. So we should end up with a fairly substantial amount of adamantine available as long as our water hardening techniques endure. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm thinking maybe we'll get a full set of plate for everybody, plus a weapon if they want a sharp weapon. If you've got 5 blessed plates already, it's about 160 wafers for all the rest. When you say that, Simon, yeah, we're going to be careful. We have techniques. We have techniques for the circus. We're using the smooth and fortified technique. Because if you do a smooth and a fortification, you can actually see into the hell zone, and it doesn't actually let things out, which is very nice. It's very nice. What's this? Copper pick. Well, somebody obviously fell into the water and drowned. Shit, have we got a corpse in here still? There is still a corpse. Whose is this? Firehawk? Oh, Firehawk. Oh well. I'm sure we will find a new dwarf for Firehawk. He was supposed to be a hammer dwarf, wasn't he? No wonder the military's down to 7. Muted? Have I muted the microphone? Hello? No, the microphone's still going. I learned so much about playing the game when I'm here. Well, I'm glad. I mean, obviously, it's not the intention. Otherwise, I'd be explaining myself a bit more rather than just going blah, 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 blah. But hey, if you are learning, then that's lovely. That's a wonderful thing. Why is this guy here? What's he doing? Dear girl? What's your plan? He's currently... What are you doing? View job. Just standing there. No real reason. Maybe he just enjoys looking at the water and the magma. Or maybe he's staring down at Firehawk's corpse, thinking, "We were brothers. He died working as he would have wished." Actually, that's not true. Firehawk, the viewer, specifically named a hammer dwarf. He wanted him to go into combat, be a wildman. But no, that wasn't to be. He was going to drown in a horrible industrial accident. Damn. That's sad. Oh well. Yes. One day, when they write the book about Dwarf Fortress, it will be me they talk about doing all the best tutorials. Although it's probably more likely to be someone like Sal, because, you know, she actually puts the effort in. Whereas I basically just, you know, sit here yammering away over the top of Dwarf Fortress in a semi-coherent manner. It's nice. Oh man, In-Betweeners 2. I was like in my 30s when that film came out. No, it's okay though. But having said that, I mean, if I'm like any of the teachers in your school, then holy shit, man, I'm surprised that place didn't get shut down. I am in no way qualified to be a teacher. Oh, then who knows? Maybe I am. Maybe if someone said they wanted me to teach Blender, maybe I could do that. But I don't feel like... I'd be like, I can't... If I just start name-dropping teachers at my school, no one's going to have a fucking clue what I'm talking about. But we had a teacher called Mr. Simmons, and he was a DT teacher, taught you technical drawing. And it was all set squares and pencils. And we didn't ever touch CAD software. And when I finally went to work in an engineering office, it was all CAD. But anyway, he used to constantly bang on about stuff and swear all the time because he wasn't hired as a teacher. He was hired as an ex-actual person who did the job. So he was kind of fun, if a bit aggressive sometimes. "What the fuck are you talking about?" he used to shout at people. "When you're out there in the really real world." He also had catastrophically bad smelling breath. Which, I mean, you know, is unfair to judge him on, I feel, considering his professional expertise he brought to bear on his teaching career. But, yeah. They write the book about the scoundrel. There will be a small chapter near the start about Dwarf Fortress. Possibly. Possibly. Maybe. I feel like the likelihood of anyone writing a book about me is slim. I mean, other than myself, of course, and I'm not sure even I could maintain interest in that for long enough. I feel like if a book is written about me, that's a bad sign. Something happened, I lost my shit, and I did something stupid. That's what I worry about. I fear that no book written about me unless bad stuff. That's the theory. Or the formula. Come on, fill up. Once we've filled up the baffle, then I'll flip the switches. There we go. This should be good. Keep down. Keep going. What do we do in the interim, though? Maybe put on another suit of adamantine armour? So the problem with this is, if I go off and do uniforms in the military screen, this shit isn't filling up in the meantime. So maybe we'll just wander around and see what happens. Oh! The slabs are getting engraved. This is a good sign. We'll watch this. Once he's stopped engraving slabs, then we'll know that all of the memorials have been made and we can go and place them in the Gardens of Remembrance. I say Gardens of Remembrance, I mean the crudely carved out rock hollow of remembrance. Which is almost as good as a garden, right? I assume so. Oh, someone followed. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Hello, Kid of Burden. I was feeding a kitten. Why are the dwarves mortified? In this map or your map? What's going on here? That's true. Well, I didn't say you were from the future, Dave. I said you had a perfectly clear vision of the future, so you could see the future. That's a very different situation. Actually, it might even be a crippling situation. If you can only see the future and can't see what's going on now, that would make you an incredibly difficult person to talk to, or even to have any meaningful conversation with at all. It'd be like that Two Ronnies sketch where they answer the last question, the question before last on Mastermind. Madness. Of course, it depends what you're feeding the kitten, actually, Kid of Burden, or possibly what you're feeding the kitten to. I mean, if you're feeding a kitten like a foie gras goose, I can imagine people would take that sort of a bit shocked. You know, they might be a few onlookers agape. But, you know, if you're just giving a kitten like a little bit of, I don't know, smashed mouse, I mean, that probably would raise some eyebrows as well. Okay, maybe feeding kittens can be awful. The rest of the book is all about his rise to power as the Prime Minister of Britain and eventually as a political representative of Earth. Heavens above. I don't think that would work out well for anybody. What small dalliances with leadership I've had in my life have taught me one thing. I am not meant to be a leader. And also, I don't want to be a leader. Frankly, if we've got to the situation where I'm taking charge, things have gone so badly that there's probably no hope left anyway. Right? I mean, come on. You walk into the room and they go, this is the guy in charge, listen to him. I mean, what are we going to do? We're all going to sit around playing Dwarf Fortress as the apocalypse happens? I don't think so. Mind you, I'm not sure, much as I love this game, I'm not sure that if I was aware of the impending end of the world, I would sit down and boot it up. I feel like I might have slightly more pressing matters at hand to deal with, like finding my family and such. Bunch of messages saying jobs were cancelled because dwarves were mortified. Oh, okay, let's have a... Oh, we're saving. We can't look right now, but we will. We will. As dwarf was stumbling around. Oh, maybe we'll go over to Dwarf Therapist and see what we've got in terms of happiness and unhappiness. If I sort by happiness, last time we refreshed, which was quite a while ago... Oh, Christ, we've still got 2 people in a mood. I thought the 2 sad boys got killed. I thought we dealt with the happiness issue. Or maybe not. Let's go to the top here. So Canada, Fartius and Akira not happy. Mind you, if we look at the numbers on Dwarf Fortress here, we've got 1 super sad, 1 sad, 4 sad-ish, and then everybody else is either okay or happy. We've even got 5 people who are absolutely fucking over the moon. I don't know quite why we've ended up with so many happy people, but fingers crossed that sentiment spreads throughout the fortress. I would rather that than the other way around. We don't want the sad boys to spiral us. We want a happiness spiral. Imagine that. That would be a Dwarf Fortress first, wouldn't it? It'd be lovely. Oh, the game's going again. Let's look at the announcements. Press the A key for announcements. There we go. And we'll have a little look. Make cloth hood, plant fruit, cannot produce cage. Needs melt designated item. How do we not have any melt designated items left? Surely we've got a few of those knocking around. It might have been a while ago actually. Cancels extract metal strands. Here we go. Canada, armourer, stumbling around obliviously. But why? Why so sad? Why is that so... You know, we could dig in. We could find out. But part of me thinks maybe we just set up a suicide squad and send off some raids. Then again, opening the gates in and of itself could be a problem. Oh look, nice bismuth bronze bars. Maybe putting in some melt orders did work. Let me go to the stock screen and take a look. Stocks. And then we go armour. Don't want to melt adamantine breastplates, but we do want to unforbid everything that's forbidden. What? Anyone know what the difference between the yellow forbidding and the brown forbidding is? Is one forbidden because it's got P on it and the other's forbidden because it's got poo on it? He has invoked the brown forbidding. He has laid his stool upon the item and henceforth none shall or may touch it. Is that how it works? Because I feel like you could probably forbid an item in the real world by putting a little bit of poop on top of it. Quite often I will see discarded items in the street upon which a fox has laid a little pointy shit. You know how fox shit is? I don't know if some of you may be from countries that don't have large fox populations, but we have a lot of urban foxes. And every now and again you'll see like a child's glove with a little jet black turd sitting on top of it with very pointy ends. That's foxes. I don't know why they choose to shit on discarded items of clothing, but they do. I say discarded, they could just be lost. You never know. Let's melt... I bet none of you tuned in today. Well, I bet none of the new viewers tuned in today and thought, I'm going to come in and hear something, learn something about fox poop. Suits of dog leather, donkey leather, horse leather. We appear to have quite a large quantity of leather armour, which is not really what I'm looking for. I'm mainly looking for metal stuff to melt down, but apparently that's not really an option. Jute coats, sheep wool shirts. It's quite annoying that clothing is all lumped in with armour as well. I feel like there's definitely a logical category of armour and clothing which has some crossover but is not the same thing. I feel like those are two slightly offset Venn diagram circles. Spider silk cloth. Is that all flipping leather? It's all fucking leather. Earthworm leather. Imagine the amount of... Oh, giant earthworm. Okay. I was going to say imagine the amount of time it would take to collect enough earthworm leather to make... What was it? A dress. Man, even if you were being paid a lot of money by... what's her face? Old meat dress girl. What's her name? She was in American Horror Story. Oh... Lady Gaga, there we go. Whoa, yeah, I'm up with the times. What are you fucking talking about? How dare you take the piss? It is all bloody leather. You only had 2 metal pieces to melt. Very sad. Very sad. Anyway, okay, no more melt orders to be placed. Someone's cooked a masterpiece. That's good to know. Good to know. They really have to rely on the quality of the food to keep them happy because they're certainly not getting variety. I'm pretty sure 90% of what they're eating is either dog or plump helmet. And I feel like a constant slice of dog meat and mushrooms is a little bit awkward to live with. You'd want a bit more variety than that. Why have we got miasma in the dining room? Let's say DBD for dump, is it? Bloody well is. DBD for dump. And I think I might actually need to designate an actual dump, because we don't have one of those yet, do we? We've only got like a refuse pile, which is very different. Very different from a dump. So where are we going to put that? Where are we going to send our miners digging to get a nice dump? You know what? it makes sense to do it here, outside the main gates. Oh, or does it? Because once we've done that, then... No, let's do it inside the main gates so that even if something gets down to this level to siege us, as long as I make it out of the way... Actually, let's not do that. Let's do it here. In fact, fuck it. Let's just do it here. There we go. Bosh, bosh. Not like that. Excuse me. Messing it up quite badly here. There we go. And then we can put a nice large area for... There you go. That'll do it. Nice. And we can dump all of our nasty crap there, and we can reclaim this room after a deep clean for something else. Don't know what, but something. Something. Authority loves fox shit. Exciting. By fox shit, I assume you mean shit about foxes in a metaphorical sense, rather than the actual, poop. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Hello, Scrib. I think that's a welcome back, actually. Welcome back to the stream. This beard's getting out of control. It's going to need a little bit of taming soon, but thank you very much. Thank you very much. Getting quite grey as well. Hello, Sal. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I have already invoked your tutorials. So trust me, or remember that the promotion is happening. Not that we have somehow agreed on a promotional system. I'm just saying. I was suggesting your tutorials. What am I babbling about? Let's have a look at chat here. How do you prepare it? Prepare what? Food quality, mushroom bread and water is all you need, says Sivan. Maybe? I feel like you want a little bit more variety, right, though? A little bit of butterfly brains in there. A couple of, forkfuls of melbills. What's this? Look, we've got a little... Experiment of night hair. Excuse me. Experiment of night hair earring. Experiment of night hair ring. Why are we suddenly dropping jewellery made out of bits of undead on the floor? What is this? Who is dumping their undead jewellery? I don't like that. And are people seeing that and running away? Because I'm pretty sure I just saw someone... Don't tell me that's... Where are they going? Obviously down to the mines, but... Oh, God. Oh, God. Right, that's filled up to 7s. Is the baffle full yet? That's the real indicator. Yes, the baffle is full, and this bit is almost full. Maybe we just wait for that to fill up? You know what? I can't be bothered. I'm just going to go down and flip the switch. If I just flip the switch, everything will be fine. Add pull now. Maybe it'll have enough time to fill up, maybe it won't. But to be honest, I don't think we need all of that water right now to douse this lot. I feel like we could do it with quite a bit less water, although we do still have to fill this up before it all spreads out. Let's see what happens. We'll figure it out. Once someone's flipped the... Whoops, gone too far. Once somebody's flipped the switch, we'll flip the other switch, and we'll get what we want. Have you ever played Dwarf Fortress in your dreams? Oddly, no. I've never had dreams about Dwarf Fortress, which is strange considering I play it so late into the night just before bed. But weirdly enough, I tend to have dreams about like videos I was watching when I fell asleep. Weirdly, I've been having a lot of dreams about the people in Red Letter Media lately, mainly because I'm falling to sleep, like watching the backlog of Best of the Worst. But I mean, it's strange. Like I'm dreaming, I'm going, oh, I recognise this person. Where do I recognise you from? And they're doing something in the dream, but I just can't remember where I recognise them from. And as I wake up, I'm like, oh, it's that guy from that YouTube thing. Why am I dreaming about them? It's very mundane dreams as well. Very weird. Let's have a little look down here. How do you prepare it? The fox shit that someone likes. Oh, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure if I could prepare fox shit in a way that would make people like it. That feels unlikely as an outcome. Although, of course, somebody's already claimed to love it. Sal, your partner on YouTube. Congratulations. Well done. That's not a little thing. You need to get a lot of fucking... a lot of regular views to get up to being able to partner. Well done. Wow. It's blowing my mind down. I'm like, wow, it's so far away from where I'm possible at. Fortress design. That's weird. I mean, often you play a game a lot and you'll get the Tetris effect and you'll have dreams about it. But oh, someone's flipped the switch. But I've literally never dreamed about Dwarf Fortress. Then again, it's arguable that I haven't really played that much Dwarf Fortress. It's very arguable because I have done more sort of like just blathering on than I've done any true Dwarf Fortress playing. Even tonight, where I've been relatively productive in terms of the Fortress. There have been nights of this stream where I've done like maybe 20 seconds of unpaused Fortress and 3 to 4 hours of just constant gibbering. Not that I'm bothered by that. Opinion: fish is inedible. I'm not sure about that, Diana. I would say I don't like the smell of fish cooking, but I do like the taste of fish. I do like actually eating fish. Big fan of fish cakes, fish fingers, and smoked haddock. Big fan. Ocelot likes fish, mostly. Not entirely, mostly. Some forms of fish, not so much. I quite like sushi as well. I do like a bit of, what's it called? Nigiri or something? I can't remember the names of the different types, but the ones where it's the long, oblong blocks of sushi rice with the little seaweed wrap around it and then the piece of fish or prawn or whatever just laid on top. Love it. Can't eat fish cake or salmon, but yes, I must admit, I'm not a huge fan of salmon. I especially don't like that thinly sliced smoked salmon. I find that very unpleasant, but other stuff, not so bad. The best fish I ever had was in a Belgian restaurant with like Tintin themed painting on the walls and some very nice beers on the menu. And I had a pan-fried sea bass. Oh, that was lovely. Although part of me wishes I'd had the mussels, because other people around me had the mussels and it was like an elaborate thing that you had a bucket for putting the shells in and it looked like a lot of fun. But oh well. I like Tesco cheap fish fingers. They're made from the bits that didn't make it into the other fish products and that makes them taste lovely. True, I do like a good fish finger and the Tesco ones are pretty good. In principle, I shouldn't like shellfish, Sal, but I do. I like a pint of Winkles. I like all sorts of like bits and bobs. It's usually the vinegar on top that really makes it for me. I don't mind that at all. But for some reason, once prepared, I will eat underwater snails, but not actual snails. Very odd. Very odd. Hello, Fry Guy. Welcome back again. The Blathers M. That does make sense. Has a certain ring of truth to it. Everything that comes out of the water that is food smells, tastes, and even looks to me completely inedible. Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, I love a good prawn. Ooh, I love some prawns. Not so fond of calamari and such, but tastes all right. Just thinking about what it is and the gates. The gates! We need to flip that switch. Holy cow. Sorry, excuse me. I'll come back to the fish-based chit-chat in a minute. And pull now. There we go. Let's close that gate back off. There we go. It's done quite well. We've advanced the water pretty well. Gate should shut soon. And we have, thankfully, got rid of, I think, all of the lava and magma. Which is nice. Very good. Very good. Someone going to come flip that switch? That would be awesome if you could. If it gets too deep in the other room, we're going to have troubles. Come on. Somebody flip the switch, please. No? It's already 2s and 3s. I'm hoping this bit here will fill up nicely and take away some of the depth over here. Nobody going to come and flip it? Oh, well, it's my fault for gazing into... Ah, here we go. Gazing into chat and nattering on. Oh, here we go. Hello, Akira's Arcade. Welcome back. You are currently in a state of deep unhappiness in the fortress, so hopefully we'll be able to figure out what's going on there. Let's have a little look here. Dave loves clam chowder and gumbo. I've never tried them. calamari is okay, but nothing special. I could certainly live without it. I don't dislike it really badly, but it's just I find it, I don't know, just not that drawn to it. I found that gumbo has quite a regional difference. I particularly like the gumbo from south of the Acadiana region of south central Louisiana. Very specific, Sal. Very specific. That's the language of a connoisseur right there. Stratosphere says, when I was a science teacher for children, we would talk about where their food came from. Whenever someone said they liked shrimp, I'd reply that I didn't eat bugs. The look on their faces was fantastic. Shrimp or crabs or lobster. Ah, right. Well, while I am aware that a shrimp is very closely related to a locust, I suppose crabs and lobsters are also very similar in a way to insects, aren't they? Like the old... those giant horseshoe crab things and some of the stuff that lives on the seafloor is basically just giant woodlice, isn't it? I love crab and lobster though. Oh, ooh, lovely. Diana lives by the sea pretty much, and the fish here is fresh, so I guess I found out my hate for seafood after eating it. I didn't like seafood as a kid at all. The smell used to put me right off, and I always used to complain about eating fish, but you know, as I got older, I kind of ended up changing my mind on that front, but not overnight. It was kind of like, oh, I'll try this, I'll try that, because I was okay with fish fingers and stuff, so it makes sense. Sal's going to be controversial and say she prefers vegan fish fingers over real fish fingers. Right, first, right, if they're vegan, then they're not fish fingers, they're just fingers. And secondly, ugh, what's the point of making a fish finger if it doesn't contain any fucking fish? But yeah, sometimes the vegan stuff is alright. It just annoys me that they try and call it something like, oh, it's a vegan sausage. Well, I mean, okay, it could be a sausage, provided it's in sausage form, but it's, oh god. Not with the fish fingers, but with fish cakes though. I like fish cakes personally. I'm a big fan. I'm happy to eat anything, says Dave, so long as the production chain is safe and sensible, etc. I wish I could be so noble. I'm generally happy to eat pretty much anything. I won't eat horse because it's not farmed. You don't really know what you're getting. However, I'd happily eat farmed horse. Suppose so. In theory, I'd eat farmed horse, but then again, I have and probably will in the future eat meat without really knowing what it is. I was against fish as a child until I had some deep-fried catfish. Oh, I don't think I've had catfish. I think my actual interactions with fish as food have been fairly limited. Like, just generic chip shop stuff. I won't eat anything endangered. I mean, I try not to eat cod and stuff, but, I mean, not that cod is endangered, but you know what I mean. Populations are falling. That's my generally only rule. I've got no idea, Akira. No idea. It doesn't make any sense to me either. I do love seaweed. I love a bit of seaweed, I have to say, Diana. Like a bit of fried up seaweed. Ooh, nice. I like mushrooms a lot. I'm a big fan of fungus and stuff. I do like eating a lot of fungus. So a lot of that is sort of like reminiscent of meat. So, you know, I'm not opposed to that kind of thing. They farm rats in India, so I'd happily eat farmed British rats, for example. Interesting. I mean, I suppose so. I feel like the efficiency with rats just isn't there. There's not enough on them. I've mentioned this before, like squirrels, rats and stuff. You're going to be pretty desperate before you start getting something with so little meat on it. I mean, maybe in like a stew or something, you'd have to get the bones boiled up for a bit of broth, but I don't feel like there's a lot of eating on that kind of thing, right? I think there was a reason farming was invented. Like, you don't get quite as much off of a wild animal. Or maybe I'm wrong. They breed and farm dogs for meat too. I wouldn't try it though. I mean, I probably would, but like not from a horrible, nasty, unhygienic farm. Well, I mean, they can be good, but I mean, if you're not a vegan or a vegetarian, you don't have to bother making the distinction. You can just add them. I like a veggie burger, like the ones with all the little bits of peas and carrot and stuff, but I quite like it as an additional like layer in a burger, which is good. That's what guinea pigs were originally domesticated for. They actually get quite big in like their home territories, right, though, presumably, because a guinea pig seems, again, like a very very small yield of meat for what you're doing. Mind you, they're fucking easy as shit to breed. Like, we had guinea pigs when I was a kid, and you basically can't stop them multiplying. It's like once... I think they can be born pregnant. Like, once you've got a couple of pregnant ones, that's fucking it. It's just, you've got a never-ending stream of guinea pigs on your hands. The only thing that stopped our guinea pigs from multiplying like tribbles on the Enterprise was foxes. Did you see that video of the seagull eating the rat? I did not, but I can easily imagine it. Seagulls will eat pretty much anything, I think. I don't think you could farm a rat up to chicken size, right? I mean, maybe like a capybara. I could believe someone eating a capybara or a big rabbit, but I mean, I've never seen a guinea pig large enough to think, now that would fill a hole. I mean, obviously, alive, it would easily fill a hole by digging it and then putting itself in the hole, but, because that's kind of what guinea pigs do. But hey, anyway, where were we? We appear to have moved on the fortress. What's happening here? Oh, Aston Logamimaz, the Dwarven Child, has been possessed. Okay, where are you, Dwarven Child? Where is this possession taking place? Right there. Okay, we'll follow and see what happens. Let's see how this unfolds. Fingers crossed we get a piece of sweet adamantine armour or a bladed adamantine weapon. That would be ideal. And hopefully we won't end up losing some adamantine as some sort of, bullshit like a ring or something like that. We do not want any jewellery and or useless bullshit. You mean and or useless bullshit? I mean, realistically, that's what jewellery is. Hello! Gone for a Craftsdwarf workshop over there. Big fake out. I assumed that because they passed those workshops that they were coming down to get one of the forges. But no. Please don't put adamantine in your build if you're not making a weapon or armour. Okay. They seem to be walking away from the adamantine. However, we do know there is a weird renegade stock of adamantine in the segregated stockpiles, so they could potentially be going for that. Oh no, they're going for wood. They're going for wood. So the base material is wood. I mean, what could they be making? Anything really, some form of cup, cage, a cupboard, I don't know, a coffer? No, that would be a chest, wouldn't it, made out of wood? Okay, so the child dumps off the logs, that's nice. Where do we go next? What further items? Again, away from the adamantine, so I'm guessing we're not going to see much of that in this creation. I mean, it's highly unlikely it's going to be an exciting thing, but whatever. Just let it ride for now. Come on. Dig, dig. More wood. Okay, lots of wood. I've definitely seen animals eating capybaras. And I could definitely imagine from the size of them that they're definitely a sensible game animal, but never actually seen it take place as such. The Gambian pouched rat, Cicotomys gambianus, also known as the African giant pouched rat, is a nocturnal pouched rat of the giant pouched rat genus Cryotomys and is among the largest muroids in the world, growing up to about 0.9 metres, 3 feet long, including their tail, which makes up half their length. That is a big rat. That is a very big rat indeed. Pouched rat. Okay, not poached. That makes sense. Is that a marsupial? But it can't be. If it's a rat, then it's a rodent, right? Can a rodent be a marsupial? I don't think so. I think marsupials and mammals... Is a kangaroo a mammal? Oh my god, I think a kangaroo is a mammal. Marsupials can be mammals. Is marsupial a subset of mammals? Why am I even getting so deep on this? Okay, we've got a few uncut gems there. That's nice. Oh, that reminds me. We need to make the gem cutters workshop. We need to move the stockpiles, don't we? That's okay. We'll get round to it. We'll get round to it. Do we want to leave this child to their business? They seem to be okay. It's not like they've got any items they can't get hold of, is it? There's bones knocking around. I mean, it would be annoying if this was the first one where they go, I can't get any because I haven't got any shells. I don't know. Let's let him toddle off and get himself a little bit of whatever he wants. We'll come back to him. I'm going to go and do the stockpiles for our gem cutters workshop. So P, is it E for gems? Bloody well isn't all. Let's go to here, and closer to the workshop we'll put the uncut gems, and then further away we'll put the cut gems in a slightly smaller stockpile for no good reason. Scale, not scale, sorry, I'm in a blender moment there. Let's say no rough glass, no cut gems, no cut glass and no cut stone, just rough gems please. And then this one I would like just cut gems, so no rough, yes cut, no cut. Good. And then, with that in mind, we can come down here and we can get rid of our gemstone stockpile, which I think is this one. Yep, and this one. Yep. So PX. And there we go. Oh, that didn't go right. PX, there we go. And then from here down to here, remove. Lovely. Lovely stuff. Okay, which should yield a big rush of people to come and move all those gems up to where they're going to get used. Oh, look. Hang on, is this a cut gem stockpile as well? Oh, shit, did I just remove a different stockpile? Gem bin, tin bin. That's a bin made of, that's a gem bin. So this is armour, not gems. Okay, cool. And that is a gem stockpile. Okay, for some reason I've got more than 2 gem stockpiles, which seems a little odd. Never mind. Oh, wait, is that for glass? It might be, you know. I might have just removed my glass stockpile. Hang on a minute, why have I got 2 stockpiles for tables as well? That doesn't make sense. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Maybe one of them is supposed to be an overflow. I don't know. Let's just remove this table stockpile though. That's definitely not needed. Ah, there we go. Although having said that, it kind of makes sense to have a slight overflow because you can end up with more than you actually ordered knocking around. Marsupials are mammals. Okay, that's good. All warm-blooded creatures are mammals. Okay. Marsupials are their own branch of mammalia. Rodents are placentals, the other major branch of mammalia. Oh, okay. Ah. It's not a fish. That's true. That's very true. All extant marsupials are endemic to Australia and the Americas. A distinctive characteristic common to these species is that most of the young are carried in a pouch. Isn't there a marsupial that lives in Madagascar? Or am I way off the mark? I'm thinking of something else. It's not an eye, but it's something in that sort of like morphic shape. Hello, Ralph. Welcome back to the stream. Thanks for joining us. Close to getting a new gaming/school laptop. My suggestion was the AMD Dell G515. I'm unfamiliar with it, but probably good, I'd guess. I mean, let people have a look. I'm not the expert to ask. I got all I got nerd shame when people in my Discord started talking about all their exciting electronics projects, and I tried to start the stream tonight with my microscope and look at a beetle all close up, but unfortunately that didn't work. So I'm still very wanting on the nerd front. Shame. Never mind. So, are they actually filling up that gem stockpile? It looks like they are. Yeah, look at that. We should probably put some more orders in for gems to be cut. They've suspended the green zircon cutting, which I am going to guess is because there are none left. So we'll cancel that. We'll also cancel the citrines, the green zircons, more citrines. No, that was wrong. That was black zircons. Shit. Wait a minute. Are these... What? What's going on? There we go. Every time I try and cancel one, it just goes to... Oh, hang on a minute. What? What's this? Okay, that got weird quickly. Let's try that again. Alt W, is that what's happening here? Workflow constraints, Shift A, cut gem of any material. Shift Enter advanced. Okay, all I want to do is cancel these orders. There we go. There we go. Oh, that's how it's done. Right, now, add. What can we cut? We can cut praise. We can cut wood opals. We can cut black zircons, red zircons, tanzanite, red spinel, emerald. Ooh, we've got emeralds, have we? Granite. No, cut granite. What are you doing? Spam handler. Cancel. There we go. So is that all of our good stuff for cutting? Obsidian and quartzite might be fun, but they're not really valuable, so we won't bother. We've got some crystal glass. We could cut that. Nah, we'll leave the glass for other uses. It might be wanted in a mood. Okay, we're looking good. We're looking good. All of the actual gems are getting cut now. And then in a bit we can try some encrusting, but we'll only feed it from the adamantine armour stockpile, so we end up with some gem encrusted adamantine armour. That'll be nice, wouldn't it? Let's have a little look here. Isn't a lemur a marsupial? That did cross my mind, Rolf, but I don't think it was. I know they're like the primates of. Oh, there we go. Pretending Jesus says lemurs are primates. They're the primates of Madagascar, but I'm pretty sure they're not marsupials. That's true. It did work. The microscope did work on the bug. But yes, a little bit too accurately. Also, there was a bit of strobing going on with the LEDs that light up the subject, and I probably shouldn't fuck with it too much. I did spill water in the general region of it just before the stream, so I don't want to run the risk of giving myself an electric shock. Maybe we'll give it a go in the break. We'll see if it's dried out to see what happens. Should those be on repeat? Oh, that's right, actually. You're a very good point. Very good point. Those orders should all be on repeat. There we go. Good. Good. That'll get all the gems done. Let's go back down to the adamantine zone and see what's happening there. So it's all 3s and 2s, which means channeling is doable. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to channel out as much of this as I can, and then we can start looking down into the lower zones to channel out more. So if I do DH priority 1 and then we channel out this whole row here, yeah, that'll be good. Good. Nice. Bang. Priority 1 channeled. Lovely. And then we go for priority 2 just above there. Bosh. Priority. That didn't happen, did it? It did happen. Okay. Whatever. Priority 3. Bang. In it goes. Bosh. Priority 4. Bang. There's probably not much point doing the priority 4 because there's a huge priority 4 dig. Oh. Okay, that's nearly done. We'll let that play out on its own speed. Not to worry about it. No, maybe if you're not that fussed about beetles and microscopy, you haven't missed out too much. But it was originally the gimmick of my channel, like streaming and a little bit of fun microscopy. It's even in the channel description still. But after my first microscope broke, I kind of didn't really pick it up and do it anymore. The problem is OBS gets a bit finicky if you try and use more than one webcam. And so 9 times out of 10 it will just fuck your stream up if you try and do it. There are ways around it, but in the end I just kind of dropped the gimmick, which is fair enough. I wasn't getting any viewers off of it. Mind you, at the time I think I was playing Dark Souls, so it's a different clientele, if you will. Very different clientele. That said, you know, Dark Souls did get people watching. People do like it. It's got almost as dedicated a fan base as Dwarf Fortress, I would say. slightly less dedicated, I think. Although I think if we were to have like a discussion about it in public, those who love Dark Fortress, Dark Souls would be like, no, I definitely love Dark Souls more than you love Dwarf Fortress. And the people who love Dwarf Fortress would be like, I'm not going to argue with you, but I know in my heart that you're fucking wrong. You can't love Dark Souls more than Dwarf Fortress. It's just not possible. It's just not possible. What am I talking about? Making no sense at all. Dark Souls, that's true. Maybe one day someone will complete Dark Souls by playing it with a dartboard controller, but that day has yet to come. That may have come. I watch a couple of other streamers who are doing microscope stuff. Oh, right, okay, so I'm not alone in my idea. Not alone. Wishcraft might watch a microscopy channel. There's only so much you can look at. That's the problem. You can set yourself up with like a load of stuff to look at, but once you've had a peek at it, you kind of, you know, how long do you spend looking at these things? Also, my microscope is like a very cheap USB job, so the focus is, it's got 2 fixed focal planes. You can either have 20 times or 200 times magnification, and it kind of goes out of focus between the two. I'm very pleased with it. It was one of the best gifts I ever received, but technically this is... No, it's a second version. Yeah, no, sorry, they're both gifts. It's very good. Let's have a look over here. I know that the things happened, but I'm just going to catch up with chat. I'm a bio/geo nerd, says Stratosphere. It is fun stuff. Interesting things, biology and geology. Maybe there's a more nerdy clientele for Dwarf Fortress. I would guess that's probably the case. Right? I feel like there's a lot of people who play Dark Souls who think they're nerds, and then they meet people who play Dwarf Fortress and go, oh wait, I'm not actually that nerdy. Is Astesh an elf? Uh-oh. Let's have a little look. Astesh Logmimas, the dwarven child, has created Lushutikikut, a spore tree crown. He claims it is an heirloom in the name of the family ancestor, Einod Peaked Metals. He's not an elf, but he's chosen some odd things to make here. What's with your crown bullshit? It's called Guilt Dabbled. Oh, God. I think this is saying something. I think this is a cry for help. Please, investigate, Daddy. Oh, God. This is a spore tree crown. All crafts dwarfship is of the highest quality. It is encircled with bands of alder. This object is adorned with hanging rings of spore tree, and menaces with spikes of alder, red zircon, granite, pigtail, and green glass. On the item is an image of Stukos painted mark, the dwarf and dwarves in granite. Stukos painted mark is surrounded by the dwarves. The artwork relates to the ascension of the dwarf Stukos painted mark to the position of Queen of the Brilliant Whips in 235. On the item is an image of circles in green glass. On the item is an image of broad crosses in granite. Oh, very not very exciting because it's a crown. Ah well, I'm sure someone will get some use out of it. We'll put it on a pedestal or something and show it to the fortress denizens and try and cheer them up or something. A wooden crown seems a bit undwarfy though. Imagine the feeling of the parent as the child rushes out of the workshop. Daddy, Daddy, I had my first mood. Look what I made. And then the father looks down at the exquisite craftsmanship, and tears well up in his eyes, and he's like, oh, it's made of fucking wood. Get out of my house. And then, you know, kid banished to the wilds, having to walk through the wilderness until he realises, oh, wait, I must have been possessed by an elf. That's disgusting. I'm going to have to get an exorcism. Or maybe I've gone a bit dark with this one. Let's not get crazy. Can children get moods? Yes, Stratosphere, as it illustrates. I noticed when I played Oni a lot that it brought out engineers. Well, Oxygen not included. Definitely the kind of game that brings people into that kind of systematic thinking out of the woodwork, I would say. Any game like this, to a lesser extent RimWorld, but Oxygen not included, Factorio, Satisfactory, that's going to pull a lot of that kind of mind out of the zeitgeist into your stream. It's a weird way of phrasing it. I suppose I'm more of a geek than a nerd. Don't really have a great understanding of things that are interesting to me. the thing about a geek is that's a sideshow profession that eats anything. It's not. It's just one interpretation of the word. I know what you mean, but I'm being facetious just to bring it up. Oxygen not included. Stratosphere. Very good game. Well worth a try. 5 different kinds of menacing spikes. It's almost Christ-like in its spikiness, isn't it? It's almost like a little crown of thorns. Wouldn't it be quite un-elf-like since it's carved out of the flesh of... That's a good point, actually. That's a good point. It's totally un-elf-like. They would have grown the crown. That makes much more sense. Very good. Those games the Scoundrel M named are also not in the top 10 games on Twitch, which means those of us watching sort you streamers out. True. You know what, though? I would say that by and large, if you want any kind of success on Twitch and you're starting out, although, take my advice with a pinch of salt. I've been streaming for practically 10 years and fuck knows how many people are watching, but it ain't hundreds. And I'm certainly not a professional. But you will get growth if you go to the smaller games, the games that have dedicated player bases that want to see that game streamed. And so if you want to get any kind of growth, you go play those games and hopefully people enjoy watching you play games. And then as you move from game to game, you will take a razor thin sliver of the people watching onto the next. Like when I stopped playing Dark Souls, like I went from getting 10, 15 people watching down to getting 7. And I feel like probably, especially on my stream, there's like a 7 to 10 people core audience who will watch me play anything. And depending on what else I play, the numbers wildly vary. So if I played Oxygen not included, I might get up to like 14, 15 people. Play this, I might get up to 40 people, maybe sometimes. But if I go back and play Dark Souls, I'll probably get back down to about 10 people. It's different for everybody. Hello Arctrect, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us very much indeed. Sorry, I got a bit distracted there talking shop about Twitch. Let's get back down to the adamantine zone and see how those channeling orders are being done. Well, we've got 1 row of them finished, which is nice. I feel like as we're doing these channeling orders, we are going to cause some of the water to evaporate. Does 2 deep water evaporate? I think it does, doesn't it? No, what levels 1, 2 and 3, dwarves can work in it. And I think it's only level 1 water that evaporates, and I feel like the 2s and 1s are skipping around too much for it actually to result in any kind of evaporation. But hopefully doing this channeling here will cause these lower levels to fill up. But which is weird, because then... Oh, it is full! Oh, I see. That's the water on top of the 7 deep stuff. Okay, so as I dig deeper, I am going to spread water thinner on the levels that haven't been dug out. Okay, this is good. This is going to cause evaporation. We're fine. I feel guilty if I don't watch a stream and play the stuff I don't want to watch, but I just have to get over it. You know what? I must admit, I mostly watch gaming content on YouTube. And even though I've got my favourite people I watch, I don't watch everything they play. I certainly don't watch everything. And normally I'll give like the first episode of a game a try to see if I like the game. But for me, gaming content that I watch is a nexus of watching people I'm interested in watching playing games and watching games I'm interested in watching being played. And very rarely will I add a new person I watch, but very frequently I'll add new games that I'll watch. So I'll go back to the same people to watch stuff that they're playing, which can be a bit frustrating because sometimes they'll play a string of games that you're not really interested in, but it's very rare that I'll search lots of the people playing a particular game and find someone new to watch. Although it does happen. It does happen. It's not never. It's not never. My friend Drovin recommended this channel to me. Otherwise, I tend to only watch channels where there are multiple people bantering where the gameplay is secondary. To be honest, I would probably like to do more stuff with people, like conversational stuff, because much as I am capable of talking and talking and talking and talking, I feel like having another person to talk with directs stuff. Because you may have noticed, I sit here going, la, 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 wander off in this direction, then la, 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 wander off in that direction, and don't really actually get much said of any real substance. Whereas I was having a conversation earlier about games with Chunky, and I was like, it would be nice to just, have like a conversational stream, talk about stuff. Because you can do that with chat, but it's not quite the same. You don't get the back and forth you get otherwise. So we'll see. Maybe I'll be able to convince some of my mates to do some more live chat stuff. Then again, we did do that with the Kingdom Death Monster game. Although having said that, that game was very complicated for people to pick up, and I feel like maybe it wasn't the ideal format to try the conversational style out on. Lots of thinking and chin scratching. I remember Drovin. Drovin's definitely been here before though. Feel free. So if you've got any ideas, Sal, I'm interested. We can. It doesn't have to be Dwarf Fortress related, or even necessarily gaming. But I feel like it's. I don't know. I feel like contact me about stuff. I mean, I'm interested in trying something a little bit more conversational, and I feel like when you've got another person, you'll know this, Sal, because you've got your housemate there helping you out. But if you've got another person in the room, a wingman, so to speak. It makes things a little bit easier, especially whenever I've done it with Sinister Elements or Dead Doberman in the room, which is rare, very rare. Whenever I've streamed with someone sitting next to me, it's always a little bit more, I don't know, peppy, because you can hear someone's response. Like, I don't know if any of my jokes are landing unless chat says something to that effect. So, you're kind of like out on a limb saying anything that you think might be funny, or even just, do you know if anyone's interested in what you're saying, or are they just like, nah, okay, I'll go and watch something else. It's difficult. But if you've got any ideas, Sal, do let me know. I would say Arctrekt, I do tend to watch streamers whose personalities I like, but the game is only, I would say it's an equal requirement. I mean, the person I watch most on YouTube is probably Angori Tom. I watch his streams as well and stuff like that, but it is dependent on the game, because he plays some games that I'm just not interested in, and other games where I'm really into. I really enjoyed his Subnautica playthrough. I quite enjoyed the golf thing he did recently, which was weird because I'm not normally into those kind of games. But equally, there's this other thing he's playing at the moment, which is, I can't remember what it's called, Family something or other, like Life Simulator. It just didn't grab me. Barn Finders was quite fun. It's odd because there are games that I just won't play. I'd never actually pick up and play, like Barn Finders, but I'll watch someone else play. It's intriguing. Very intriguing. I googled a funny name that a Twitch subscriber had on stream. I watched before this one and found an old photo host blog with 1,000 photos of his deployments in Afghanistan. A random subscriber on Twitch. My goodness, a little bit of digging does find you a lot of interesting stuff on the internet. When Sal and Mare stream, they're very careful not to converse themselves and make viewers feel like a third wheel. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I think like sometimes you want people to have a conversation, but you want that level of sort of dipping into what's chat's saying. You want that level of sort of like acknowledgement and interaction. But sometimes with a conversation, you do want people to just have, like with that whole, when Blind did the interview with Toadie, I think that was probably best the way he did it, like to try do the questions he had first and have the conversation and then dip into chat, because otherwise it can get a little bit directionless and incoherent, because, you know, obviously chat is lots of different people all with different ideas about what they want to hear and say, and it can get a little bit... Not that you should isolate chat out. That's crazy. How about you try Co-op Factorio? Could do. Not terrible. I feel like a third leg, says Authority. Imagine how fast you could run with 3 legs. I mean, provided they're in a beneficial orientation. With a third leg growing out of your head, it's not going to really make any benefit towards your running speed. But hey, third legs could be good. British Beardo watches other British Beardo. What a surprise! You're correct. Yeah, that is. Well, it's not why I'm watching him. It's not the beard thing, but I just enjoy his style. You know, I just enjoy the way he plays games. It's an intangible. It's hard to say why you enjoy watching particular streamers do particular things. I think I couldn't explain. It's like falling in love. If you can explain why you're in love with someone, then you're not fucking in love. It's an intangible, inexplainable thing, like a feeling, kind of. Well, it is a feeling, obviously, but it's it's not something that you can pick apart into individual bits. Yeah, yes, Druid's Mead, yes, as Sal says, you can get that interview and watch it. And Sal posted an interview thing as well the other day, which I watched. That was from a different event, wasn't it, Sal? I don't know. Yeah, when he shaved it off, that was a bit jarring, I have to say, Stratosphere, when the beard came off just after last Christmas. Was it just after or just before? The last time he shaved, I remember going on and watching the Chilluminati stream and going, ooh, what's happened here? And everybody in chat was like, don't you dare shave again, fucking hell. Which is unfair. I mean, if the man wants to go bald-chinned, that's his prerogative. He can do what he wants. But it did make me raise an eyebrow. This raises an intriguing ontological question. If it's shaped like a leg, but it is on your head and can't be used as a leg, is it really a leg? I would say, I think if it has all the hallmarks of a leg, just because you can't use it in a standard walking cycle as a leg doesn't mean it's not a leg. If it's impractical, I mean, if something grew out of your arm, out of your chest with a bend in the middle and a hand on the end, you'd call it an arm, regardless of if it worked or not. It could be like a wizened Quartu limb from Total Recall, but you'd still call it an arm. So if someone had like a little tiny doll's leg growing out of their face, like an extremely overdeveloped wart, if it had a little foot on the end, you'd call it a leg, right? That'd be weird, wouldn't it? Like a tiny leg, but to scale adult size, not like a baby leg with the sort of the plump little ankles and everything and the little toes, like an actual just 1/20th scale adult leg with like hair and everything. I mean, where am I? Stream. I don't think I'd watch a chat stream readily. I'd probably give it a try if it was one of my favourite streamers, but I do enjoy the game. True. I mean, there needs to be the pretext of a game, at least. But I do also like streams that are people discussing things, you know? I like interviews with interesting people. I mean, obviously that's the key, right? If the interview's someone boring, then you don't want to watch that. But then again, often you have to watch interviews sight unseen because you don't know who's going to be interesting. You can't always, know up front if someone's going to be a fascinating listen or if they're going to be an interminable bore. Like I've been listening, for the last couple of days, I've been stopping and starting on this interview with an AI guy called Ben Goetzel or something. I mean, now that is interesting stuff. He's an interesting character. I can't find my phone, so I can't look up who it is. But I've got a PC in front of me. Idiot. His name is... where are we? It's a podcast called the AI Podcast. And the episode is 103. Lex Fridman interviewing Ben Goetzel. And it's proper interesting stuff, talking about AI and mathematics. But I wouldn't have known he was interesting off the cuff, so I had to go and listen to the first 20 minutes or so to get the idea, to know whether it was good or not. Anyway, where were we? I was... Indoor Fortress, getting this digging done and hopefully getting some of this water evaporated away, because if we can get it just shallow enough to dig once we've channeled all of this surface layer out, then I'm going to be pretty happy, because then we'll be able to douse the stuff underneath as well, which is going to be good. And if we start by digging out the edges, that should yield us, because if we just on this floor dig out across, there's another corpse. Who's this with an adamantine pick? Zaledorgasinosynim. What? And Daygirl Sapphalosis. Oh, that's the pick. Daygirl's corpse. Let me just check to a therapist. Was that one of the people I sent off as a minor? Oh, for Christ's sake. Why are people dying down here? What's happening? Are they just slipping into the water, banging their heads and drowning? Is it just a case of we need better shoes? Maybe that's it. Maybe I just haven't made enough shoes. We had 41 adults, 24 children and 1 vulnerable baby. Let's have a little look. We've got no more vulnerable babies, but that's probably because they matured into a child, right? 39 adults. What the fuck? That's a significant population drop, right? Okay, let's let this continue for a second. I'm only seeing 2 corpses here, though, so... Oh, sorry, we're still in Dwarf Fortress. Hold on. Where's that from? Oh, so, Debbie, what made you fall in love with multimillionaire Paul Daniels? That was from, oh, God... The Mrs. Merton show, that was it. I remember now. Does it have some sort of fundamental platonic ideal leggishness to it? I think so. I think, you know, a leg has, like, it's determined by its physical shape, right? So, you know, is a statue leg a leg? I think on one level it is a leg. It's not a functioning leg, but it's definitely a symbolic representation of a leg, which is almost as good as being an actual real leg. And then again, I mean, we're just talking about human legs. At the point you look at other animals, like insect legs, bird legs, frogs' legs, the various different forms of legs, then the idea of a leg becomes much more nebulous. Is, you know, just having a hinge in the middle and a foot on the end, yeah, technically correct, but I mean, there's a lot of variation there. You could have a flipper on the end. It's weird. It's weird because, I mean, technically a wing is just a very stretched out hand, right? So, difficult philosophical questions. Table legs. Quite right, Fuzzy Logic. Table legs. I mean, a leg doesn't even necessarily need a foot or a hinge, does it? A dismembered leg is still a leg, even if it's not functional or attached to a body. That's true, but how much can we destroy a leg? If we if we cremate a leg, does that... Oh, how is the miasma getting out of the water? For fuck's sake. If we cremate the leg, does the ash that constituted the leg once upon a time still have any leggishness to it? Or is that now... Is the leg completely gone? Is the leg obliterated? Jonathan Pye is a hilarious YouTube channel. I enjoyed it for a while, but things got too real, and I was like, I just can't be reminded of this shit. I can't laugh anymore. My fun glands have popped. Oh, a human caravan has arrived. Very exciting. Very exciting. In that case, let's throw open the gates, because it would appear that we no longer have any undead knocking around, or at least the siege is over. Crundles, human merchants. Yeah, it's just partial animal bits. And a horse skeleton. Oh, Christ. Not ideal. What I could do... In the future, I'm thinking, if we put another gate or another drawbridge here, we can seal... Actually, we could just seal the fortress off. Oh, fuck it. Let's just open the gates. What the hell? We've already got mystery deaths occurring. We may as well add a little bit of more excitement to the world. Open the front gate. That's not the one we want. We want the surface gate. Add pull. Now, there we go. Bish, bash, bosh. Let's allow it to continue. If we go up to the surface, we'll watch the gate open and presumably witness the incoming traders, unless they are repelled or killed by remaining surface undead body parts. Not ideal. A hoof is just a big nail. Very true. Presumably in response to a wing is just a sort of hand. That's right. Architect. People are requesting namies actually, and maybe I'll take a break in a minute. But before we do, I'll do the naming thing. I've missed some stuff here. Robert Miles. No, I love Robert Miles' YouTube channel. I watch all of his stuff. Very good content. Very interesting fellow. A little bit beyond my, full understanding. Sometimes he talks about stuff, but he does talk about stuff in a very digestible manner. He makes AI safety ideas seem a lot more comprehensible. I watch Computer File as well. I don't watch all the videos on the Computer File. There has to be a hook to pull me in. Because of course, not being an expert in the field, some of it can go over my head a bit dramatically. Last night I watched a video about what was it? Kel saw it in the queue and went, watch that'll put me to sleep. It was about geometries. It was not non-Euclidean geometry, hyperbolic geometries, and how you can display them in game engines. It said it would blow my mind, and I think it came close. Although I'd already seen a couple of videos about hyperbolic geometry and not really absorbed them, so it all felt a little bit familiar. Kid of Burden wants to name somebody Bees. I think that can be done. That's kind of what I was thinking, Dave. I basically agree in principle, but I mean, because I agree in principle, it has to be, I don't know, it just feels like it's not that much to get my teeth into. Open the gates, but keep your military alert on to prevent the dwarfs pile out. That's a very good point. They have all just run outside, haven't they? We've had an enormous outflux of dwarves. Zager Bezalem, on behalf of the Merchants Guild, let me extend greetings to your people. There is much to discuss. Okay, fine. Why you have a voice like that, I don't know, but if you could just piss off for a minute, I've got some shit to deal with. Military alert. Let's pull everybody inside. There we go. And that should stop some people getting hurt. Fingers crossed. And we should be able to get everybody in, close the gates, and then deal with the trades. Maybe they'll have some musical instruments. Who knows? And some of the newer viewers can sit there scratching their heads going, what the fuck am I watching? Only if we already have bees and bees. Good point. We need to build up. Got to be careful. Can't just go straight to bees. Periodic table of videos. Oh, what is the name of that professor from Nottingham with the... I mean, he looks like if you asked someone to draw a picture of a mad scientist, they would draw you this guy. His favourite element is molybdenum. Oh, I can't remember his name. Someone in chat will know. Someone will know. You have children going out to play in the corpse forest. It's a very Dwarf Fortress statement, so. Very Dwarf Fortress. Oh man, it's been like that for decades, Dave. The amount of content being produced that you want to watch but can't is just so... Polyakov, that's it. Yes, Martin Polyakov. Yes, I mean, those videos are fun. I do enjoy those. Yes, with the wild white hair. Wiki wild white hair. Man, that's what you want. When you go to your first day, your first lecture at university for any kind of science subject, that's what you want to see. You want to see some mad-eyed professor with wild hair going, today we're going to... And even better, I mean, this is probably a bit much, but even better if he's got like a mysterious burn mark on his face or a missing finger or something. You're like, this guy's going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Even better, fucking eye patch. That's what you want. That's what you want from your chemistry teacher. Possibly. I've got no... Well, at least on one side, surely. I love a good mad scientist. Always my favourite sci-fi trope, the mad scientist. A little bit of Vincent Price in The Fly. Or, of course, if you want to be a bit more modern, but not that much more modern, a bit of old Jeff Goldblum in The Fly. Oh, Brundlefly. Two very different takes on the mad scientist. I'm not sure which is my favourite. Vincent Price definitely takes the best voice. I think so. The only way that... I mean, imagine you could make a crossover. Imagine Werner Herzog's voice and Vincent Price's voice could have a baby. And imagine what that would sound like. It'd be a beautiful thing, wouldn't it? Incredible. I think everyone's back inside now. Let's pull the lever to close the gates. And then we can get on with the trading, right? I feel that's how it works. And pull now. Pull the lever. Yeah, lever's being pulled. Once the gates are pulled, we'll do the naming session, then I'll take a little break, I think. He says, checking the time. Yeah, nearly 1 o'clock. We'll do a little break. The only teacher I had with a scar was in freshman comp. Freshman's the first year, right? Oh, yeah. I watched a video about June last night. I don't know why. It just came up in my recommendations and I thought, fuck it. I'll try and go to sleep watching a video about the production process of June. Turned out to be quite interesting. Apparently, old... what's his name? It's bullshit. Director, Eraserhead, Twin Peaks. Fuck! I'm not looking at chat. I can do it. I can remember his name. I can see his fucking face. Come on, memory. You can do it. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Fuck it, I'm going to look at chat. David Lynch. Fuck! Yeah, apparently he never even read the book. Which seems a bit counterproductive, right? You've got to read the book. Finkel? Irving Finkel of the British Museum. Oh, yeah, no, he's good. He's got that video about exorcisms in Sumeria or something. That's well worth a watch. In case Fuzzy is dead, if not, how about Bob the Builder, ideally a mason and or architect? We can try that, although I think Fuzzy may still be in the land of the living. In the land of the living. Right, is the gate shut yet? The gate has shut, so we can pause the game. We can do a little trip over to Dwarf Therapist. There we go. And then I'll get up the list of namey requests. How's that sound? Community, channel points, manage rewards, manage a review requests queue. Here we go. Let's pop that in the background. Alt-tab that back to the front. Get Dwarf Therapist up and Dwarf Fortress. Here we go. So, an hour ago, Stratosphere requested a dwarf named after themselves, which is perfectly acceptable. Let's do that. Let's copy the name straight from the window, go over here, and as no particular type of dwarf was requested, we'll just choose at random. Just going to choose at random after I've arranged the dwarves by who has and hasn't got a nickname. Sort by alphabetical. So, Dragonmin, Arrow, Orchimedes, Akira, Arsenoctopus, Asbestos, Baby Salsa, Biscuits, Buckshot Brigade, Cole, Salor, Conan Dude, Dave, V3, Defecatius, Diana Sark's Cult, Druid's Mead, Dornai Yeblan, Arian, Fartius Maximus, Fuzzy, Hibernoe, His Holiness, Japs, Johnny 5, Canada, Keek 100, Claycree, Krabukius appears to have 2 dwarves. Hello. You may have to sacrifice one of those. If you've got a preference, let us know. One of them is a blacksmith, the other is a child. Okay. Lettuce Prey, Lord Shaper, Murder Machine, Northwesterhausen, Ocelittle Ocelot, Owenog, Potato Salad, Kvatch, Ravelin 4, Rowboat, Salad Cream, Sal, Scoundbelly, Scoundrel, Stairmaster 4000, Tidy, Chunky Nut, and Zastiverse. So let's pick a random dwarf of the 17 left. Holy shit, we might actually run out of dwarves before we get through all the names. So apologies if we don't quite get there. Arctrek would like a miner. Well, I feel like what we could do is just pick any old dwarf and then whack mining on as a skill, because I feel like we've lost quite a few miners, and all the miners in the fortress already have names. That's fine though. It's fine. Let's take Bemble. Bemble seems to be doing a lot of brewing and carpentry. Let's pick Stukos. What does Stukos do? Not a lot. And Stukos, you are going to be not only the namesake of Twitch Prime Architect. No, just Architect. There we go. Okay. And then, that's weird. Oh, I see. It's because you've got the little Twitch Prime symbol next to your name, and I copied that as well. Right, we'll do that, and then we'll set you to be a miner. And then when we commit the changes, you should be... There you go. There we go. Architect's in. Kid of Burden wants to name someone Bees. Well, you know what? Much as I would like to fulfill that request, I'm just going to name one after you, just to be slightly contrarian, but yet also a bit vanilla at the same time. Let's do a little bit of eyes closing. Eyes closing. Or I could just be obstinate and name them which technically would be bees. Endok. Endok is going to be Kid of Burden. Bosh, you're in. There we go. Let's commit that. Lovely. Sal said ad time 11 minutes ago, so I will run some ads during the break. Don't worry. Don't worry. Make myself a healthy, maybe almost 5 pence. Ooh, wow. Fuzzy. Is Fuzzy dead? That's a question. That's a question. Fuzzy, 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 B, C, D, E. Fuzzy's still alive. You're still alive. That's good. We could do a Bob the Builder, but I feel like with only 14 dwarves left, we're not going to do any meme names. We're going to hold back on the meme names, which is why you told me the pronunciation at the beginning of the stream. Dag nabbit. Let's say Sayabc. We're going to go with your name rather than the requested David Lynch. So let me just whack that in there. Where are you? Muthcat. There we go. Set nickname. Paste. Bosh. You're in. Say that. And then hello again. Brad underscore would like a name. So there we go. That's no problem. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. Excuse me. Getting a bit burpy. Got a little bit of the old mouth wind. Right. Kobuk, you have found yourself inhabiting a child in Dwarf Fortress. Hopefully that will yield a long and happy life. But no guarantees. No guarantees. Oh shit, I accepted rather than rejected your request, Fuzzy, so you lost the points, but didn't get anything for it. Holy shit. If you didn't have, I would guess, multiple tens of thousands of points, I imagine that would upset you, but I feel like it's probably not going to even notice from your huge account, so to speak. Okay, back to the fortress, and then we'll start thinking about the break. Let's have a little quick... full of architectural details of the Ark. Interesting. Probably best to avoid that, Diana, I would say. Be very careful. You don't want to get into any kind of shit trouble. Where are we? Let's have a little look. Both Bibles are just collections of whatever the myths and fables. I was actually watching a thing last night about historicity of Jesus Christ based on Bible stories. It was a Canadian guy. It was interesting, but annoyingly, you watch anything to do with atheism and suddenly YouTube's like, oh, you must be a massive right-wing prick, and starts showing you like tons of videos of people going, oh, cancelled, oh god, fucking PC brigade, and you sit there thinking, what the fuck is wrong with you? It gets really heartbreaking sometimes when you watch one video and suddenly YouTube is like, oh, I think you've got a lot in common with this. It's very sad. Very sad indeed. No, you were not going to hear about Fuzzy's demise, Fuzzy, because Fuzzy is a fortress stalwart, it would seem. What does Fuzzy even do? I'm just having a look. Oh, you're a child. You get put into fewer dangerous situations, I would imagine. Can you sail a ship with a mouth wind? Ooh, I don't think so. I think what you need to do is be on the shore, and then maybe your mouth wind will blow the sails and move the ship, but it doesn't seem likely. Doesn't seem likely. you've got to watch and then remove from history. That's true. That's true. But I'm right, Stratosphere. I mean, sometimes do you not think, what is this? What you think of me, Google? Is this what you think of me, YouTube? What do you think? I'm some kind of fucking papeg? It does annoy me a lot. Suddenly my homepage is full of influencers. That's it, you watch one video about something and suddenly YouTube goes, this is very much like this, and you're like, this isn't like that at all. What's going on? Oh, exactly, Dave. It's so annoying. You can just don't feel like you have to convert everybody else. It's fine. They're not... Well, I mean, some people are hurting themselves with religion, but that's their fucking business. Let them get on with it. Oh, the esports ads. It's like, I can like games without being into esports. I don't know, what weirdly, I've been getting like lots of ads for stuff like bespoke furniture, and mind you, I've got targeting advertising turned off, so the advertising on my YouTube channel gets, for what I'm watching, gets pretty wacky sometimes. And I get lots of international adverts. I got loads of screenshots on my phone from when once I think I was served an advert for a Sri Lankan funeral, because there was lots of images of this monk guy and everyone sort of like coming and paying respects, and there was a guy in a suit talking, and because I don't speak Sri Lankan, I just happened to recognise the graphemes from the language. I've got no idea what it was about, but it did appear to be an advert to attend a funeral. So I don't know, I get some weird ads on YouTube. But you know, it's the videos they recommend that annoys me. I do get their videos recommended, but not. To be fair, it's mainly just TTT on the main channel now, and I'm not sure that YouTube can tell which channels are associated by network unless they're like deliberately done that way. Yeah, it's strange. It's strange. I mean, esports, I mean, don't get me wrong. My disdain for esports stems from my disdain for sports. I'm not into competitive stuff. It's not really my scene, as it were. But I have to say, I do prefer the idea of esports, the idea of actual sports. I would give it a go, but I feel like it needs to be a game that you're interested in, and most like heavily competitive games just don't draw me in, you know. Even like the first person shooters I play, like Arma, they're more about the cooperation between people than the actual conflict. I feel like there's more interesting gameplay in cooperation than in conflict. Lots of conflict can be expressed very simply, very directly, and can be a bit boring, whereas it takes a little bit more complexity of thought to come up with cooperative systems. That's just my opinion, though. Just my opinion. Adverts for baby products and Stena stair lifts. Pick a lane, YouTube. Pick a lane. By the time you need a Stena stair lift, maybe it thinks you've been in some kind of sex accident that's taken away your ability to walk. That seems highly unlikely, though. I mean, let's all just try to purge our minds. What have I done? Go on, let's see what ad plays. Targeted ads turns off to a minor, all for super conservative polarizing things. I get that a lot. I get a lot of people coming on and going, have you heard there are immigrants coming? And I'm like, I don't fucking care. But I am going to sit here and watch this entire ad, so you have to fucking pay to tell me that. And I'm certainly not going to buy anything you're fucking selling, prick. But I do. I take great delight in watching adverts for stuff that I do not want, or at least putting my phone to one side and letting the stupid 15-minute ad play out, because I see a lot of people trying to advertise their Twitch streams and YouTube channels like that. They'll put a whole video of their stream as an advert. And I'm like, how many viewers are you getting by doing this. One, it's annoying to be served an advert even over a minute long. But two, just apropos of nothing, sight unseen, putting a Let's Play in front of somebody, I don't think that's the way to entice people in. I don't think that's a winning strategy, personally. But then again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should just dump one of my VODs as a YouTube advert, like a 5-hour-long YouTube advert. Doesn't make sense, though. I don't think it'll work. Yeah, I've not got a problem with watching ads on YouTube. To be honest, I feel like the ads on YouTube are pretty easy to deal with. I feel like you know what you're getting. You'll get one at the beginning, maybe one at the end, and then if you see the little yellow marks, you know there'll be ads served up during it. But because you can skip most of them, I've never had like an unskippable, epically long advert. The unskippable ones are always like 5 seconds long, so it's not that much of a bother to me. I don't mind watching ads on YouTube. Egyptian food delivery service. Ooh, nice. What, I mean, I wonder what kind of... I wouldn't know if I was served Egyptian food, to be honest. I wouldn't be able to... I wouldn't be able to sort of tell you if it was Egyptian or not. The kitten is awake after his power nap. Now all will know why you have to fear the night. Oh my goodness. That sounds like a dangerous kitten. Is this the one you were feeding earlier? I've fallen asleep to one video and woken up half an hour into one of those Let's Play ads. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Who's thinking that's like a viable strategy? It must cost quite a bit as well. Unless it's like a totally untargeted advert, in which case, what use is it? Oh, Architect, I'm trying to avoid spoilers about Sal's Fort because apparently I'm going to be playing Telier's Fabulous Embark afterwards. So apparently there's secret stuff that I'd need to not discover. It's Righteous Boner is the Egyptian guy. Ah, Jerry. Is that like an inversion? Is that like an ironic Tom and Jerry inversion? He's called Jerry in the same way like Little John is a big guy. Or am I missing something? Anyway, where were we? Let's do the break. Sorry. Okay, those of you watching on YouTube, sorry this has come to a weird sort of grinding halt at the end there, but there will be more recording after this, so don't worry. Don't worry. Unless I suddenly just vaporise or have a heart attack or something between stopping recording and starting recording, but it's unlikely. I'm only 40. It's not impossible, but I mean the vaporisation is highly unlikely. I feel like a scenario in which I am vaporised probably involves more than just me getting vaporised. It's probably everybody. It's probably the planet. Gone. Then again, in that case, it wouldn't really matter, would it? Yeah, no one's going to hear this other than the people watching it live if that happens. So why bother saying it? Bye, YouTube. Bye. Don't get depressed. Stay happy. Bye.